Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is Department of English Government Postgraduate College Attak and I am Nasir Ali Shah. I am here with another lecture on the novel which we are reading, The Old Man in the Sea. This is our fourth lecture. Before this we have a little introduction, as well as in our previous lecture we read the text. In the first paragraph we read so far that the old man Santiago, who is the central figure of the novel, he was living alone in the locality of fishermen along the coast in Havana. A young boy, Manolin, had been with him, but for the 40 days he had been unsuccessful in catching the fish. So the parents of the boy shifted him to another boat to learn the art of fishing. The parents of the boy, as well as the other people around in that area, thought that Santiago was surely a salao, or the most unlucky person. So the boy, on the instructions of his parents, went to another boat. But the old man Santiago carried on trying his luck into the sea. Every morning he went into the sea to try his luck, but in the evening he returned empty-handed, without any fish. And this was now around 84 days that he has been unsuccessful. But every evening the boy went down to help the old man when he came back from the sea with his empty skiff. The boy went down there to help him to carry certain things, or the tools, including the harpoon and gaff and the coiled lines, as well as the sail which was furled around the mast. So the boy helped the old man carry all these things from the boat to his shack. Now we study the next paragraph. The old man was thin and gaunt, with deep wrinkles in the back of his neck. This is actually the personal appearance of the old man. He was very thin, very weak. Gaunt also means extremely weak, extremely thin and bony person who does not have much flesh on his body. He was a bony person with the deep wrinkles in the back of his neck. Wrinkles mean furrows or creases in the skin, especially which are made due to the old age. So he was very old, as well as very weak and thin. The brown blotches of the benevolent skin cancer the sun brings from its reflection on the tropic sea were on his cheeks. On his cheeks were little spots, the brown blotches. Blotches mean spots or blots, were on his cheeks, which were created due to the reflection of the sun. Benevolent mean benign or unharmful or not damaging very much. So the benevolent skin cancer that the sun brings from its reflection on the tropic sea. The area of the sea where the old man went daily as a routine, being a fisherman, it was his profession to go into the sea to catch the fish. So due to the reflection of the sun on the sea water, there were the brown patches or spots on his cheeks or on his face. These blotches ran well down the sides of his face. So these blotches or these spots were in a longish shape or longitudinal shape, ran down on the sides of his face, and his hands had the deep creased scars from handling heavy fish on the cords. There were also the marks of injuries on his hands. his hands had deep creased scars. Scars mean mark of wounds or mark of injuries. Scars. Deep creased mean there were the deep lines of those injuries. Deep lines or deep signs or marks of those wounds or scars were on his hands from handling heavy fish on the cords. Cord means that string which is tied to the hook and is used to catch the big fish. These marks were in fact the signs that in the past he had been a very brave, very experienced and very successful fisherman who had been catching the heavy and huge fish. So that is why while battling with the big fish or handling them or subduing them or controlling them, there were the marks of wounds or injuries on his hands, which were the proof that he had caught very huge fish in the past. But none of these scars were fresh. This is a very important sentence. But these scars or these marks of wounds were not fresh because, as we have read earlier in the previous paragraph, that it was almost 3 months or 84 days to be exact that he hadn't caught any fish. So these marks or these scars were not fresh. These were the marks of injuries or wounds that had healed long ago. They were old as erosions in a fishless desert. So these marks of injuries or marks of scars were old as erosion in a fishless desert. Erosion is a process by which the surface of the earth is worn away by the action of water or wind, etc. So just like there is an erosion in a desert, which is a fishless desert, means it is a symbol of the old man's failure, that as in a fishless desert means in a desert, of course there is no water, so there is no chance of fish in the desert. Just as there is an erosion of the sand or the land in the desert, so these were the marks on his hands. Everything about him was old except his eyes, and they were the same color as the sea and were cheerful and undefeated. This is very important sentence of Oldman's appearance as well as about his personality. You should underline this sentence in your notebooks. Everything about him was old because he was an old person. Being old, we have studied in the lines above that he was a very old man. There were the wrinkles on his hands, on his face, as well as on the back of his neck, and there were the marks of wounds on his hands. So everything about him was old except his eyes. So his eyes are very symbolic or very significant. They were the same color as the sea and were cheerful and undefeated. Though he had been defeated, we may say that he had been unsuccessful for a long time, for almost 3 months, but there was a hope, there was optimism in his eyes. That is why it has been described as a light or cheerfulness in his eyes. So his eyes were cheerful, means very happy. He was not a pessimistic person. He was an optimistic or hopeful person. And his eyes were also undefeated. It means that he was sure that someday he is going to catch a big fish. And in this way, he could prove to the other people around him that he was still an experienced person, or he can still catch a big fish. So his eyes indicate his inner spirits, his conviction in his energies, in his powers, and his faith in the dignity of man, that he is not going to lose heart, he is not going to lose hope. That is why this is very significant sentence. So, up till here we have read the personal appearance of the old man. Now, here the first dialogue of the novel starts. Santiago, the boy said to him as they climbed the bank from where the skiff was hauled up. I could go with you again. We have made some money. As we have read earlier, that there was a strong emotional attachment between the two, between the old man Santiago and the young boy Manolin. That is why the boy felt sad on watching Santiago every day coming back from the sea empty handed. Moreover, he went down to help him to pick different things up from the old man's boat to his shack. Here again, the boy expresses his wish to go and work with Santiago because he admired him so much. That is why the boy says that, Santiago, I could go with you again, we have made some money. Because the boy had been working with another fisherman on another boat, they caught some good fish in the few days. That is why the boy says to him that he has made some money and he wishes that he could go with Santiago again. The old man had taught the boy to fish and the boy loved him. So here it is apparent that the old man had taught him from his early days to fish. To fish, this word has been used as a verb here. To fish means to catch fish. And the boy loved him. The boy loved the old man. He respected him and admired him. No, the old man said, you are with a lucky boat. Stay with them. The old man, here it seems that up to some extent he has admitted that as the other people around him think about him that he is lucky no more, he is an unlucky person. That is why the old man refuses to grant his wish and asks him to stay with that boat, on that boat with that fisherman, because they are the lucky ones. The boy says again, but remember how you went 87 days without fish and then we caught big ones every day for 3 weeks. The boy said that I remember as well as you remember that you have been unsuccessful for almost 87 days and we means the person with whom the boy is now working, they caught big ones, mean big fish every day for 3 weeks. I remember, the old man said. The old man says, yes, I remember, I do remember. I know you did not leave me because you doubted. The old man also expresses his liking for that boy, and he almost acknowledges the boy's emotional attachment with him and encourages him, and he does not want to blame him that the boy left him. That is why he says that I know that you did not leave me because you doubted, means that you doubted on me. It was Papa made me leave. I am a boy and I must obey him. The boy here expresses his weakness, we must say, that being a little boy, being a young boy, he has to obey his parents because his father asked him to leave Santiago and go on to another boat. I know, the old man said, it is quite normal. The old man quite naturally admits it that I know it and it is quite normal. He hasn't much faith, the boy says. He means his father. He is talking about his father. He tells the old man that my father does not have much faith in you. No, the old man said, but we have, haven't we? The old man says, yes, I know that your father does not have faith in me that I could be able to catch a big fish. And then ask the boy, but we have, haven't we? We have faith in each other, haven't we? It is called a tag question when you say something to somebody or to suggest something to somebody and ask the response of the other person in yes or no. That is a sort of tag question. The old man says, but we have faith in each other, haven't we? This is the take question. Ask the choice or response of the boy. Yes, the boy said. The boy says, yes, we have faith, means I do have faith in you and you have faith in me. Now the boy turns the topic and says to him, can I offer you a beer on the terrace and then we'll take the stuff home? The boy is actually offering something to drink or something to eat to the old man. Now and again, we shall also study ahead in the text. Now here, as usual, the boy offers him to drink a beer. It's a sort of wine on the terrace. Terrace is in fact a little restaurant on the seaside, on the shore of the sea, where generally the fishermen or some tourists come and stay there to drink something or to eat something. The boy offers him a beer on that restaurant, on that terrace restaurant. It's the name of that restaurant. And then the boy said that then we will take the stuff home. Then after having the beer, we can take these things to your home. Why not? The old man abruptly accepts his offer and says, why not? Sure it is. And says, between the fishermen. It is between the us two. Between the fishermen means you and me. We both are fishermen. It is between ourselves. Here we can see that the old man, being old, adult and mature, he is not, let's say, he's not ashamed for having something to drink or to eat from a little boy. But there has been humility in himself, which he expresses next in the text. So, the boy offers him something to eat or drink. Here he offers him a beer on the terrace and the old man accepts it. Students, this is all for today's lecture. We'll continue reading the text with explanation in our next lectures. Till then, goodbye and Allah Hafiz.